home before you come back for, like you said, almost a second opening night on Halloween.
Yeah, it's kind of like natural team building at this point, because when you go on trips like this, you're either at the hotel or you're in transit someplace. So this weekend, Chicago Friday, Saturday, always tough games against the Wolves. 3-3 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Grand Rapids, Milwaukee, Rockford. And the other cool thing about this is this stretch of time here, all of their new division in a short period of time on the road, it's a good way to get introduced to the rest of the division in a hurry. So some big games coming up, all the new division rivals in less than 2 weeks' time.
Hear you call all of them, check everything out, LakeErieMonsters.com. Outside of the Monsters, hockey in general gets going here. I know you've probably been so busy here, I don't know how much you even had a chance to catch your breath and check out the opening weekend on the NHL slate as well, too. Blue Jackets starting off 2-0 there. Have you had a chance to catch up with any of that?
I have been following it, and I've got the center ice package back at home. So if I'm not, if I'm not at a Monsters game, if I'm not working, I'm at home watching NHL hockey. So that's generally what I do on a night-to-night basis, or watching other AHL games that are going on AHL Live or something like that. But yeah, in the NHL, it's still so early. It's hard to get a read on anything. But you have to like what the Blue Jackets did out of the gate, winning a couple of games and really picking up with some of the positive momentum they finished with last year.
You took the words right out of my mouth. This season, to me, I'm interested to see how the fan base, and not just the hardcore, but the ones that they picked up during that run. And, hey, I count myself as one of them, because I've always said I'm much more of a Monsters fan than a hockey fan per se. But even I got caught up in the Blue Jackets run and followed along the momentum with that all the way through to the end. So curious to see how much of that they bring back and how they carry over, as you said, that positive momentum into this season, which is, of course,
there were a lot of people. You're not the only one. I mean, there were media people I talked to, just regular folks out and about, just all kinds of people when that was going on. And the other thing that I think fueled it, one, you had the Ohio NHL team that was, doing some good things, getting into the playoffs. But then you also had the fact that they were playing Pittsburgh, right? So, I mean, people around here naturally wanted to root against them.
Of course.
That kind of helped boost things a little bit, too. So I think it was great for hockey in the region for people around here to see the team that plays 2 hours away do some things.
Yep, and like you said, such a long season. You don't even look at stuff like this, but it's only the second time that the Jackets have started off winning their first 2 games of the season. They're looking to win 3 in a row for the first time in their franchise here tonight when they take on the Stars, the Dallas Stars. So it'll be interesting to see. But, yeah, such a long season, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on that too. And then now you're going to be out on the road here the next couple of weekends, just like the Monsters. Double shot coming up here, Chicago coming up. What are you looking to see out of the Monsters here this weekend? What do you expect to see as they go to hostile territory?
Well, for one, I think you'd like to see the Monsters kind of buck the trend here, because historically the Chicago Wolves have been a thorn in their side and over time. And you'd like to see the Monsters kind of turn that around now that they're in the same division and they're going to be seeing them more. So it's going to be a tough weekend. I mean, Chicago's always got a good team. For the Monsters, you want to see them just keep with a lot of what was working in that first weekend, and you just keep continuing to get better because they played very well. I mean, like I said, there was a lot to be encouraged. At this level, the early part of the season can be tough sometimes because you have a lot of guys who maybe for too long of a period of time. So the quicker you can gel, you might get a leg up on other teams. And as you and I have talked about, these wins early in the year are in some ways more, we can build up a little bit of cushion, pick up the points while they're here right in front of you now, and you might not run into those situations where you're chasing down the points so desperately later on in the season. So I think this weekend you go into a tough building, and it is a tough, loud building in Chicago. They're going to have big crowds Friday, and it's a good chance for the Monsters to really just start to come into their own here.
Friday and Saturday, puck drops at 8 p.m. both nights. You guys can hear Doug on the various stations and places that he's on. Call 8 p.m. both nights. Real quick, last thing outside of hockey here, baseball. I know you do your baseball park tour. You're a big Kansas City's just going to roll this thing all the way through?
That's who I'm pulling for. And I've always liked how they've built their team. I really like when teams do it through the draft, do it through smart trades. They didn't hand out that many huge contracts that they, like I said, organically, and they stuck to a plan, and that plan worked out. And there's a great history of baseball in Kansas City. I know I made me appreciate the Royals even more when I went to that ballpark a couple of years ago. I would say it's my second favorite ballpark. But all that aside, that's who I'm pulling for at this stage right now, because as I said, them and how they built that team over time. Although I am not going to be surprised if the team out of the National League wins it, because those two organizations done it the right way. The Cardinals and the Giants, there's a reason they're both there every single year, and they're not necessarily the most dominant teams during the regular season, but they've structured those teams so that they have clutch hitters and they have guys who've been in these situations before. Would not surprise me if our winner comes out of the National League this year.
Fifth year that one of those two teams has been the representative in the World Series, they're sure. And I'm with you, but man, just part of me says, who's going to beat Kansas City? Nobody can beat them. We're able to slow those guys down ever since that game with Oakland. So it'll be fun to watch. And a lot of people like you rooting for them. The only thing that makes it tough for me is the Indians. They were neck and neck with the Royals right there, and that could be Cleveland. But hey, it is what it is. I just figured I'd ask you because I know you're a big baseball guy. All right, Doug, enjoy.
Love baseball.
Oh yeah, huge, man. And that's why I was saying here for me, because these games are all that's left. There's no more. Oh, there's another game tomorrow. No, man, we're running out of real estate, man. It's almost done here for the winter. Good thing we got hockey to.
Exactly.
Doug Plagens, voice of the Monsters in Chicago this weekend, as they are for both of them. We'll catch up next week and see how the Monsters fared on the road.
Sounds like a plan. We'll talk to you next week.
And, of course, you guys can tweet with them on Twitter. I always say that. Where else are you going to tweet with somebody? At Doug Plagens on Twitter as well, and at at Monsters Hockey for the Lake Erie Monsters. We're going to take a break, come back, wrap things up for the day. A couple of interesting stories. What do you do after you go to Seattle on the road and beat the Seahawks? I don't know. Cowboys wide receiver felt like stealing some stuff. We'll talk about that. Yes, I know. We'll talk about that when we come back here and so much more. Don't go anywhere. Cavaliers play tonight. We'll set the stage. Playoffs. Monsters Hockey. Doug Plagens, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back with the final segment of the Sports Fix coming up next.
I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become. The nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Throwing you the best sports commentary in town. The Sports Fix.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
It's an addiction. The Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Back in 1990, when I joined Herb in the booth, you could say that first game was when I became a lifelong Tribe fan. Something about Cleveland made us want to stay and call it our home, raise our family here. I can promise you one thing, home or on the road, I feel what you folks feel. what you feel every game. Cleveland fans are passionate and pretty vocal. I respect that. This is our team. This is our town. This is a Tribe town.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck, home of the low price tire guarantee. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck. No football? No problem at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. The excitement never stops. Every day of the week brings a different set of food and amazing drink specials.
And now,
Fans, Harry Buffalo North Olmsted is the home for every UFC pay-per-view live on the big screens.
let's get it all!
And let's not forget their mouth-watering trademark, the Bison Burger.
They sure are good.
Nobody does bison like Harry Buffalo. The perfect combination of healthy and delicious.
Hey there, eat up, y'all. You's as good church-going folk. Y'all deserve a little treat.
What are you waiting for? Get to Harry Buffalo, just outside Great Northern Mall today. Harry Buffalo. Join the herd.
Hey, this is Alonzo G. You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix. Final segment of the show coming your way here. Yeah, back in the saddle. J-Rock here as we roll on with the show. Thank you to Doug Plagens and the Lake Erie Monsters for joining us in the previous segment. Remember, Monsters fans every Tuesday throughout the season. Doug joins us to march you, hopefully, all the way to the Calder Cup here at the end of this thing. But we'll talk Monsters hockey, a little NHL, a little bit. You never know where we're going to go with Doug Plagens. It's always, I don't even got to finish that sentence. You never know where we're going with anything here on the Sports Fix. You just buckle in and go along for the ride, Daddy. Thanks to Dr. Football, Bill Checkis, for being with us earlier. He's a Tuesday regular, as is Jeff Gorman from Indians101.com. All three guys, great guests. Glad to have them here today. Tomorrow, Cavs are in action tonight. Tomorrow, Eddie Jansen will be here talking about him. He joined us for the first time last week. We'll talk to Eddie about the Cavaliers, beat writer for the Cavs from More Than a Fan Cleveland. Looking forward to having Eddie join us here again. We'll talk about that Cavs game tonight, which will not feature LeBron James, nor will it feature Moondog. Got a status up. This was actually pretty funny. I got nothing from the Cavs about LeBron, and I'm assuming that this may be a tongue-in-cheek nudge towards that direction. They sent us a press release that says Cavaliers team mascot Moondog has been declared out by the Cavaliers medical staff for tonight's game against the Bucks and tomorrow's game in Cincinnati. Exams revealed that he is sick as a dog and will immediately undergo a period of rest and treatment while he recovers and returns to his top canine form. His status will be updated as appropriate, and we look forward to welcoming back a healthy dog in the near future. So Moondog is sick as a dog, and he will not be suiting up for the Cavaliers here tonight as they return home to the Q. First time since they've come back from Brazil. They take on Milwaukee tonight at the Q. And as I said, looks like LeBron won't play. Kyrie, as we know, not going to play. Thanks, Bruce, in the chat room. But we knew Kyrie wasn't playing. Most likely going to be held. I would assume he doesn't play this week at all with that foot injury. And I'm still, I don't know, maybe it's the Z fan in me, the Cleveland fan in me, Jim Jones, whatever, however you want to go. Feet don't go well here in Cleveland. So the quicker we can get Kyrie Irving back out there, the better. But Irving won't play, LeBron won't play, Moondog won't play. Cavaliers are missing some key piece. They can get over the other two. I don't know. Moondog carries the entertainment department. Ahmad Krupp's in trouble tonight. He's going to have his work cut out for him without his partner Moondog there. Cavaliers going in shorthanded against the Bucks. Game tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll talk to Eddie Jansen tomorrow from More Than a Fan Cleveland about that as well. We've got baseball games to talk about. We looked ahead to those today. 2 of them. We'll have those coming. Speaking of Cavs and hoops, by the way, I was mad at myself. I tell you guys, sometimes we go off the air and then things pop in my head literally as soon as I click the mic off or whatever. And oh man, why didn't I talk about that? It's too late. I couldn't believe that I did not talk about Kevin Durant yesterday with the Jones fracture.